please, please, please be careful before you make the big, expensive decision to have solar panels added to your home. Are there benefits? Of course, and we'll talk about that, but if you don't plan accordingly, or if life starts lifing and plans change, you could take a major loss when you sell your home if you already made the investment in solar panels. Amanda Rivard here, local McKinney, Texas Realtor, and today I'm gonna talk about solar panels and the massive problem I am seeing right now with some of my clients who are preparing to sell their home this year. Stay tuned to this video so you can be prepared if you do take the plunge to add solar panels to your home. I know that roofers and solar companies will mislead you into thinking that you will absolutely add value to your property, but let's talk about real experience and actual numbers so you know what you can anticipate. Adding solar panels has absolutely killed the sale for some homeowners, and if you have any experience with it, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment and let's chat. Okay, I think the best way to go about this is just sharing some real life stories, because with everything there are pros and cons, and I want you to have a realistic idea of what you can expect. One of my seller clients is going to be selling her home in Arlington this year, and a few years ago they were unfortunately forcefully sold on getting solar panels by a roofing company who told them that not only would it add value to their home when it was time to sell, but that buyers are more likely to choose a home that has solar panels than a home that doesn't. Now, the roofer wasn't completely wrong, but there definitely is some embellishment, and of course they are trying to make a sale, so they're gonna tell you what you want to hear as a homeowner. Not me, I'm keeping it real. And I always want my clients to be prepared, so I'm about to tell you all the truth. Zillow conducted a study, and on average, yes, solar panels will increase the appraisal value of a home by 4.1% on average. So in this case, my client is going to sell her home for around $400,000. That's factoring in a 4% value increase with the panels. Those panels gave her about a $12,000 to $15,000 increase in the value of her home. Great! However, a few years ago when they had those panels added, they thought they were going to stay in their home forever. Their home, which is only 2,100 square feet, cost them $52,000 to have the panels added. They now currently owe $47,000. So even subtracting that $15,000 value increase for the panels, they still are going to be upside down about $32,000, because when they sell the home, they're never going to see any benefits from using those panels. Now, have they had benefits since living in the home with the solar panels? According to them, yes. She said that their solar panels generate about 600 kilowatts of energy, and that on average they use about 1,100 kilowatts per month. So there's definitely some savings. The problem is that it has not even been enough to compensate for what they've already paid off on the panels. For comparison, with her home being 2,100 square feet with solar panels, and she's using less kilowattage than I am overall, my house is about 1,000 square feet larger and no solar panels, for reference. In the nicer weather months, their bill is about $70. Mine is about $130. When we just recently had this very crazy cold spell and everyone was talking about their very high electric bills, my client's bill was still $320 during that time, and mine came out to about $360. So for me, calculating these numbers, there's not really a significant amount of savings for having the solar panels. Yes, of course, there's going to be savings over time, especially if you are going to stay in that property for the rest of your life, or at least until you finish paying it off. Then that's one thing. But I would absolutely advise against solar panels if you think you may be moving or selling your home within the next decade or so. The problem with that is that you really may anticipate living the rest of your life in your home, and then life starts lifing and plans change, and now you owe all this money on your solar panels because you have to sell. As a seller, you really have to be prepared that when you go to sell your home, whatever you owe as a balance on those solar panels is going to come out of your net proceeds. A lot of sellers will ask me, well, hey, can't we have the buyer pay for them since they will be using them? Technically, yes. If you are leasing the panels and the lease is assumable, some buyers will do that if it's not an astronomical cost per month and if it makes sense financially. But a lot of times, buyers don't want to take on that extra expense for something they didn't even have added to the home and they maybe didn't even want. Also, if you are not in a lease and you finance the solar panels separately through a bank, then a new buyer doesn't have the ability to assume it. You would either have to pay it off from your net proceeds at closing or just keep paying your bill on it. You also have to think if a buyer is already at the very top of their budget looking at your home, they may not even be financially capable to do that. A majority of buyers do look at the homes that are at the very top of their price budget, and that should be taken into account. The other problem with solar panels, and I hear this from my buyer clients all the time, is that they think the panels are ugly and the home may be perfect and literally exactly what they want, but they won't even go take a look at it because of the solar panels. Some buyers may avoid a home with panels overall just because they fear assuming the lease or having to pay additional for the home. I have never had one buyer client in all of my career have solar panels on the criteria for a home. Nope, not ever. Some buyers are also fearful because of maintenance and issues that can occur with the panels, and they want to avoid that. Obviously, in Texas, with our exposure to hailstorms, not only can the solar panels get damaged, and there is a cost to replace those parts, but if you ever need your roof replaced, the solar panel company has to come out and remove the solar panels, which of course is another cost for your roof to get replaced. Roofers can also do this actually. And then they replace the roof and then the solar panels. That can be intimidating for a buyer as well. So realistically with panels, you're actually lowering the percentage of people who will want to buy your home. So when a roofer tries to sell you on solar panels and they tell you that buyers really love them, that is definitely not the case. I'm part of a huge real estate investment network in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there's been a lot of investors that have picked up homes that had solar panels and they got a great deal on the home, but they couldn't sell the home because the solar panels made it less desirable and they ended up having to rent it out. All right, so that concludes my little rant on solar panels. I actually have quite a few real life stories involving solar panels, and so if you'd like me to go into more detail, you can reach out. All of my information is in the description below. If you have any questions on real estate overall in the DFW area, reach out and I would be happy to chat with you. Like and subscribe so you can stay informed on local real estate, and until the next video, y'all take care.